This video will show you how to create new geospatial data for the zoning districts you will upload in the National Zoning Atlas editor. Usually, a team's geospatial analysts will be in charge of this task. The information discussed in this video corresponds to Section 5C of the How to Make a Zoning Atlas Guide. This tutorial uses QGIS to demonstrate these steps. If you are using ArcGIS, please refer to the guide for alternate instructions. Parcel data is geospatial information about areas of a jurisdiction smaller than a zoning district, and we can use it to create boundaries for zoning districts when the jurisdiction does not provide them. Before you choose an approach to creating geospatial data, be sure to check with the National Zoning Atlas team to see whether we can provide this parcel data. The three approaches this video will explain are: dissolving parcels. This is the best case scenario and can be done when you have access to parcel data with a zoning district attribute for the jurisdiction. Assigning parcels. This is best when you have parcel data without a zoning district attribute for the jurisdiction. Digitizing the zoning map. This applies when you lack parcel data for the jurisdiction altogether. With that in mind, at this time, you can feel free to skip to the section of the video that most closely matches your needs. Now, let's begin with the first approach, dissolving parcels. If you have parcel data with a zoning district attribute, then you can simply aggregate the parcels by county, jurisdiction, and abbreviated district name using the dissolve tool. When you do this, be sure that the Keep Disjoint Features Separate option is not checked. Since parcel data tends to be available at the county level, it does not always include jurisdiction information. When this is the case, before you aggregate the parcel data, you will first have to assign a jurisdiction to each parcel. If you have a vector file with the state's jurisdiction boundaries, you can assign jurisdiction to parcels using the Join Attributes by Location tool. Now, you can dissolve the parcels as described earlier. Once you have dissolved your parcels, you will need to perform three further steps. First, clean the attribute table as described in the Preparing Existing Geospatial Data for Zoning Districts video. Second, check that the zoning districts obtained from dissolving the parcel data align with the districts produced by georeferencing the actual zoning map. The procedure for how to look for discrepancies this way and manually correct them is also described in the Preparing Existing Geospatial Data for Zoning Districts video. Third, the parcel data itself will sometimes contain small imperfections. If you see strange little gaps like these, try fixing them by using the buffer tool to create a small positive and negative buffer of the same size. Unfortunately, parcel data will more commonly come without a zoning district attribute. In that case, you must use the second approach, assigning parcels. When this is the case, overlay the georeferenced official zoning map on top of the parcel data so you can see which parcels correspond to which zoning districts. Then, add a text field for abbreviated district name to the attribute table. Make the parcel layer the only selectable layer. Then, select all the parcels in a zoning district. Once you have done so, you can enter the correct value for the new abbreviated district name field you created. Once you have assigned the parcels, you can then follow the steps we laid out earlier for dissolving the parcel data into zoning districts. Finally, when you do not have access to parcel data, you will need to digitize the zoning map. Start by georeferencing the official zoning map to create a GIS image file. First, open the georeferencer interface. Next, open the file. After opening the file, the interface will default to the Add Control Point mode. Click a distinctive point, like a landmark or a conspicuous feature on the map, to add a control point. A window will pop up to prompt for coordinates. Click From Map Canvas. The prompt will automatically minimize so you can see the QGIS window. Click the corresponding point on the main canvas. The coordinates will fill in the boxes. We'll repeat those steps for several more control points. We want at least 4 control points, well spaced around the raster map. Once we have 4 control points, click the play icon at the top of the georeferencer window. We'll choose Helmert for the transformation type. If there is a projection printed on the source map, select it for the target CRS. Otherwise, use the NAD 83 state plane zone that covers the map area. Choose where you want the georeferenced version of the map to be saved in the output file field. Use .tiff for the file extension. Choose cubic for the resampling method, and LZW for the compression. Click OK. After a short wait, the georeferenced map should appear in the main QGIS window. You can now close the georeferencer window. When asked to save GCP points, click Save. They're useful in case you need to refine your georeferencing later. Now you can reduce opacity to check your georeferenced map against the base map. We are now able to digitize the map. To convert this image file to a vector file, that is, a GIS file comprising polygons you can edit, you will need to trace the polygons you want using the following steps. First, you will need to create a new layer for zoning districts. Go to Layer, select Create Layer, and then select New GeoPackage Layer. Pick a save location and a table name, and then set geometry type to multi-polygon and projection to EPSG 4326. Second, in the new field section, add the county, jurisdiction, and abbreviated district name fields. For each of these, make sure text, string, is selected as the type, and click Add to Fields list, and then OK to finalize. Now, a new layer will appear in your Layers window. Right-click it and enable editing mode. This will allow you to click Create New Feature and trace over a feature on your georeferenced image. Right-click when you are done tracing each feature. Finally, you will have to fill out the attribute table name for each new feature. As you create each feature, you will have to manually enter its correct abbreviated district name. Save regularly as you do this. At the end of the process, since county and jurisdiction name will be the same for all features in the polygon, you can use the Calculate Field method to enter these values all at once. That's it. Thanks for joining this tutorial for the National Zoning Atlas.